I am Jose de la Rosa, and hey, how are you? And my company is Guardian Healthcare. So back in you said 1991? 1998, actually just 2 years before that. I also ran from the Dominican Republic, landed in New York. I was a baseball player wannabe, and the New York Mets told me, "You're too good, just go back to school." So, and that's what I did. So I listened to them. So, oh, I really sucked. So I decided to come to Boston. So went to Northeastern University. Wanted to be many things. So, but one of them was I had a passion for finance, and so I did. Went to finance school, went to business school, and I ended up working for the larger bank. So here I am working at Citizens Bank, Wells Fargo, Fleet Bank before it was Bank of America. And so I had a passion to help people get loans for mortgage loans for homes. So back in those days, people had really a lot of difficulty trying to find out how they would qualify to get a loan. And that was me. And back then there were probably 2 loan officers that spoke Spanish, so I had a long list of people waiting to get loans approved. And actually, that's how I met my wife. She was on that list. I didn't know she was until she was. And I'll get back to that in a second. But the reality is that a lot of people didn't know how to navigate the financial system, so I was really helping them to get mortgage loans, good mortgage loans, by the way, not the bad ones where they lost their homes. So that was back in the mass housing loans, the soft seconds, and 2008 came, right? So for those of you that knows what 2008 meant, the whole financial world went upside down. Everybody lost their jobs, including myself. And here I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Well, my wife, that happened to be on that line, she was a nurse. And she told me, why don't we take a look at healthcare, home care specifically. So we're looking at people that had difficulties also navigating the healthcare system. You know how complex that is. Just ask Washington. So here I am trying to figure out, I'm not a clinician. All I know is business. She's the nurse, but she's telling me, why don't you go and find out how we can get into that business? And I did. And Betty and Lourdes actually hit it really on the nail. I go to Chicago, go to this conference room. There's 5,000 people in that room. And what really struck me was that everyone in that room was 80% male, white male, and I was one of those 1% guys that didn't look like the others. Here I am asking questions, how am I going to get this done? Well, guess what? That was my moment. Now I know what was going on. They had no idea that we existed. So what they did, they only had this market that was exactly what they were looking for, people that understood the market. They didn't have to invest into bilingual nurses. They didn't have to do none of that stuff. Well, that's when I came in. So I came back to Boston, got my 3 nurses, opened my business in Jamaica Plain, and today we're 360, $18 million in revenue. And I am really passionate of what I do. We help people that do not know how to navigate the system. We give them health care, and this is how we amplify. Thank you.
Yeah!